Hi there, welcome to my channel. Today I'm focusing on starting a shade garden out in our back forest area. My daughter and I recently finished extending our chicken run out into the forest so the chickens have some nice shade, more protection, and now I just want to start making it a little prettier and get some nice perennials, some nice annuals, and just some color out here so it looks nice when we come out to check on the chickens. We got 6 chickens last spring and watched them grow. They did wonderfully. The winter got a little cold, but other than that, they've done really well. We realized they're starting to outgrow their coop, and last summer, one of the issues I had was because their coop faces full south, I had to hang kind of blackout cloth to provide them some shade. It just became messy. It didn't look very good, so I thought, why not build out into the back forest area, which the coop backs up against. Why not build out, create an extra little run that has a lot of shade and a lot of protection from all these trees back here. So that's what we did. Other than foraging, we don't use this area a whole lot. It's kind of on a back slope and it does provide a lot of shade, but we just haven't utilized it to its full potential until now. So my daughter and I just finished building out this extended chicken run. We used material that we had laying around, a bunch of scrap wood that my daughter was using for this project she was doing and kind of just playing with. So we just challenged ourselves to see what we could kind of make using what we had, keep it cheap. The whole run is basically hidden by the forest area. My husband asked me, are you going to do a video on the chicken run? And I said, no, because it's going to be kind of hobnobby. I'm not sure the word to explain it, but it's very almost like a kid making a fort. It is functional and it is secure, provides our chickens a lot of shade, and it gives them some protection from wind too, because we use some wood for wind blocks. So it's great. We really like it, but it's definitely not like a professional chicken run. So I definitely didn't want that to come across like, here's a DIY on making a chicken run, because I do know what it looks like, so fair warning. And it's not quite finished. We need to add some final boards kind of across the top and just tighten up all the wire. So here's our chicken coop from the front. We have some dwarf Alberta spruce. I'm trying to grow some little zinnia pockets, and then we have boxwood, nepeta. It's very cute, but you can see that they're losing a little bit of space here. They still lay really well. We're so lucky with the eggs that we get. Got a girl in there. We get blue eggs, brown eggs, and white eggs. Okay, and then from there we go right over here to where the forest area kind of makes this natural arch. And what we're planning to do here is a nice little arbor, and then do some climbing roses, maybe hot pink or white, and just really accentuate this entrance. So now this is our new entrance back into the forest area and into our new chicken run. All right, and here it is. We've got our little Brahmas over here. The Brahmas are our newest chicks. They're laying down, sunning themselves. This is a makeshift shelter for them right now. We just cut a hole, put a nice little roost bar through. That way they have a temporary shelter before we really integrate them with the rest of our chickens. Okay, and these are all of our scrap pieces of wood. They're actually really nice because it does provide some shade. The chickens can kind of dust bathe and lay down there, and they're out of the way from that late afternoon sun that does kind of beam in here. But this entire run is shaded, it's protected. We have trees over the top. You can hear all the birds. It's really a neat little area. And like I said, we're going to come through with some wood and really tighten this area up. Do you want to cross? I want to hang the water across here, but for now we just got it up and functional because we needed to get those Brahmas out of our garage. So that brings us to today's project. What I want to do is walk in through this new entrance and focus on 2 areas, one on either side of our new chicken run. Okay, so walking in, you can see I've already kind of raked out a pathway. I'm not sure what I want to use for the path. Should I keep them just dirt? Should I use pea gravel? We did lay down some of this rock, but I feel like that looks a little too clunky. I'll probably wait on the path until later on. We've got all sorts of drip lines running through here that I need to trench in, bury, and get those nice and protected. We have a couple running across here. But basically, what I want to focus on today is this kind of bermed up area here, which is kind of our main focal point when we walk in, and then this area here. So I want to flank this little path entryway and plant some really nice shade-loving perennials and maybe a few annuals. The big picture of this area is to eventually keep these paths running up here. So maybe kind of continue up. You can see we have all sorts of trees. Some are in need of trimming up, maybe even being removed. But I'd like to continue a path right up here. Maybe create a nice little landing here. And you can see I have the perfect hammock set up here. I can just picture maybe some stones under here, a nice pretty white hammock with the tassels that hang down, maybe some solar lights out here, and then we'll just have a path that continues up here, maybe some stairs right here. You can see we got some weeds. These are some little limelight hydrangeas, and then we just continue right on down. This is a little makeshift staircase, and it brings us out the other side. Okay, so in terms of plants and supplies, I'm going with lots of hostas. I've got the Proven Winners Empress Woo hostas. These get about 3 to 4 feet high and wide. And then we have, these are from Monrovia. They are the stained glass hosta, a little smaller than the Empress Woo. I have 2 of those, and then we have Monrovia Vulcan hosta, and this guy gets a little bit 18 to 22 inches high, 24 to 36 inches wide. So it gets pretty big too. So it'll be very lush, very green, lots of different foliage colors. I really like this chartreuse. I think that's going to pop really nicely in the shade. And then we have some annuals. So this is a coleus. There's the tag right here. And then I got a little pack of coleus too, just to kind of pop around in different places. And then for more color, I got a few little pony packs of this pink begonia. Begonias love shade. I think they'll do really well. Okay, I have a few hostas that I want to use. I have one here back in our forest that we don't ever see, and it's just back here all by itself. So I think we'll dig this up and move it. This guy right here, I can't remember what it's called. And then we have one more hosta right here that's really hidden. It might be the same as the stained glass. It's very similar. And then we have this little guy. It's a little heuchera. It's looked like this for a few years, and it just needs some shade, some better soil. So I'm going to see what I can do with this guy too. All right, I think I have our layout just about done. We have the Empress Wu here, so one here, one kind of over on the other side. Those are kind of like our big kind of statement pieces, and then our other hostas kind of just filled in. This is one that I just bought this morning. I love how this really brightens it up, and of course we do have our functional elements. Trying to make things as pretty as we can without impeding access here. And then this is the hosta I dug up from my other flower bed. You can see I've put our little begonias. I've just kind of set them, one right up here. And of course I am going to try to spread as much mulch as I can over this area. It's probably going to be several phases of this project because there's a lot of ground to cover. But for today, I'm just focusing on these two little berm areas. This is that little heuchera coral bells that I dug up. I'm hoping it will thrive here. More begonias. And I just continued those around this curve. A few of the little coleus, these can get up to 14 to 20 some inches tall. So hopefully that'll kind of help fill in this area. We may have to go and get more annuals or little plants later on, but for now I think this is a great start. This is a nice little focal point right here at this little tip, and then this beautiful coleus here. I like that dark color. I think it looks really cute with that one. That'll grow up right there. More little begonias will be around the edge, and then there are two more coleus back here. So once I cover this with mulch, I think they'll be a little more visible. Let's take a look at the other side. More begonias. And then here's the other hosta that I dug up from just right over there. So I think that's a nice, pretty green. It looks really nice with this chartreuse. And once I get the dark mulch down, I think it's going to look really good. Another little coleus back here. So everything's coming together already. You can see how lush that chartreuse, all the different greens, the foliage, the texture, it all looks really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and get these planted. I am going to go through and amend the soil with a little bit of garden soil and all-purpose fertilizer. And then we'll top dress with the mulch. All right, I got everything planted. It took me a very long time, but it was really fun. It's really pretty out here. I don't know if you can hear the birds, but they are just going crazy. So in terms of irrigation, I have so many drip lines out here. I just finished burying the main lines. Nothing too deep. I like to be able to access them just enough to get them out of the way so they're not a tripping hazard or an eyesore. So for water, I'm gonna go ahead and just tap in. I'm using one of these micro sprayers, which I don't normally use. But since we have so many things planted and trees also, I wanted something that could reach kind of a big diameter. So this can cover a diameter of 11 feet. So I'm just curious to see how it works. If it doesn't work well, we can replace it with some drip lines. Okay, got everything planted, got the drip systems in place, got most of it mulched. Now let's go ahead and take a look. So again, long-term goal is to have a nice arbor right here, climbing rows to kind of accentuate the entrance. Then we leave the sun and we're in our shade garden. I love how the hostas just pop. All the different shades of green. And remember, these little guys are gonna get bigger. The same with our coleus. Some of them are hard to see right now, but they're just gonna get bigger. I like the little pops of the pink begonia. This just is very striking, very bright color. It's gonna go a little buried. I think all of these plants are going to like their lives out here in our forest. It's hard to see in the mulch, but we've got our coleus, begonia. This is a large coleus, so hopefully those will get much bigger. And then when you come in, like this guy, he's gonna bulk up and kind of hide the stalks there a little bit. Definitely some room to add things, but for now I think this is a great start. When I was mulching, I was being very careful to not go too close to the paths here, so it looks a little patchy. And again, I'm not quite sure what to do for the pathway. I don't know if I want to do like big stone, pea gravel, some sort of granite. I'm not really sure. I don't think I want to do mulch. I just think it would kind of blend together too much. So we'll see. Work in progress. I didn't mulch back here yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to plant more or what. So for now, I just left that and just got these kind of berms here mulched in. And the same with that area back over there. Eventually that'll all get mulched up. Eventually this whole area will be mulched, pathways, different little stations, hammock. So it'll be fun to develop. You can see our little Brahmas are dust bathing. Chickens do this to keep away mites. They dig down and then they'll cover themselves with the dust and then they'll stand up and shake it all off. So it's the first time I've seen those girls do that. So I would say they're loving their new home. They've broken free from the garage. Well, like I said before, this is just the beginning to my shade garden. It's a very big project, so I'm going to take just little bite-sized chunks at a time. I really enjoyed getting a start on this project though. Getting different greens, different textures, and just little pops of color out here is just so much fun. So it'll be fun to watch it develop and just work on our forest shade garden. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.